Hi guys, we've just been hit by frost and it's affected plants in the polytunnel and the greenhouse. I think the past week there have been frost almost every single day. And when I got in this morning, there was ice on the ground. I got in around 6:30 a.m. so I was able to still see some ice on the lawn of the allotment. I got into the polytunnel and there were a couple of plants that the impact of the frosts was visible on their leaves, and we'll just look through a few of them and see how they are getting on. This is the reason why we have more than the amount of seedlings or plants we really want to grow. So say you want to grow maybe 5 tomato plants, you want to when you sow, you want to sow more than 5. You want to sow maybe 20 to 30 even. And if you're someone like me who would put those plants out early, these are the risks you have to bear. And unfortunately, some of the plants would be impacted. Would they recover? I guess they would, but it might set them back maybe a week or two to get going again. There's one that might have been lost because it's been impacted by frost and it doesn't seem to be recovering. For today, the plan is just to water the plants, take off dying leaves, the ones impacted by frost, and I hope to sow my sweet corn today. I hope to sow the sweet corn. I'll be sowing close to maybe 100 this time. Let's see. So that's the plan, guys. Let's get to it. That's the most impacted plants. So it's just next to the door, and I left the door open, so could have closed it, which I'll do today anyways, because the weather's still not good and this might continue to the end of the month. So yeah, to protect them, I expected it to be frost. I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect it to have this much impact. It's the first time I'm getting hit this bad. That's another plant that's suffering. And how you know it's been hit by frost is how those leaves look. All right, look at that leaf there. Look at the center one. That's fine. So something like this would recover. But I'll need to start taking these leaves off. I'll watch them a couple of days and I'll start taking it off. So this one doesn't look like it was impacted at all. The leaves are all fine. The bottom leaves are fine. The top leaves are fine. So it always affects the lower leaves because it's closer to the ground when it happens, the frost. But the spinach are doing well. You can see how large the spinach got during this period. Another thing that suffered is the watermelon. So my watermelon there's almost nothing there, right? You can just see that small bit. I think it's also being eaten by slugs. So this here, every single watermelon I put down in the polytunnel are all gone, except that little one there. I still have more to sow, but I've lost a lot of them to slugs or the bad weather. There are a couple of others that got impacted also, but this is it. So first job done. I've watered the polytunnel. The next step is to go to the greenhouse and water those plants, also including the seedlings, and then I would plant the sweet corn. You can see that leaf again, doesn't that difference. Look at the top, look at the bottom, impacted by frost. Okay, we are in the greenhouse and they still got loads of plants everywhere. The weather is not good enough to put out these sunflowers, so we'll wait till the middle of May, or maybe after the first week of May. So second week is fine. The frost got here, but it's not too bad. Somehow it's not too bad in the greenhouse. Those ones are looking funny though, the leaves of that brandy wine, the bottom leaves, the big one there. But apart from that, it's green at the top. Here also, this looks not too nice, but it might just be transplant shock. Yeah, this one is a sweet million. Yeah, the sweet million seem to be affected more. See, the top looks okay, but as we go to the bottom, the leaves start looking funny. I think a better angle would be good. Oh, let's look at the cucumber too, and then I'll change the angles. So that's the cucumber. Look at that leaf, how it looks, and look at the top one. Look a bit different. The bottom ones are worse, but it doesn't seem to be too bad though. But this is what it is. The frost being here, but it's not as bad as the polytunnel. The plants that were in the tray filled with water are looking this way, like they're about to die. This is not good though. This shouldn't happen maybe more than 1 or 2 times. So I need to make sure definitely this doesn't happen again this next week, consecutively. If not, some of these plants won't amount to anything. Some of the sunflowers. Okay, so the only major thing left for me to do now is to sow my sweet corn, and I'm going to try something different. I usually sow my sweet corn in individual pots of this size, and I put two seeds in a pot. Today though, I wanted to put 1 seed per pot, but I just realized I don't have enough compost. So the plan would be to use a tray. Use a tray similar to that one over there, and just plant all 80 seeds in it. Once they germinate and grow to a level, I'll then transfer them. It might affect how good they perform because I'll be disturbing their roots, but it's an experiment. Let's see how it goes. Oh, and by the way, something I usually do, apart from sowing them under cover, once it's May, I also sow at the same plot or around the same plot directly into the ground. So it then becomes like a race. Last year, there was almost no difference with the one I sowed in the ground directly in the middle of May, and the ones that had already grown to a point in the containers. So let's see what happens this year. So guys, this is the tray I'll be using to sow most of the sweet corn. I'll put the golden bantam here. So the two I'm sowing is golden bantam and golden crest, which is an F1. Golden bantam is not, golden crest is. And I'll put them in here. But something to note, because the shell of a sweet corn is quite dry and I'll say hard, I've soaked them overnight. So they've been in the water for more than 12 hours. So to make things easy, I'm just going to use this. It saves me space. It saves me having to move around 80 of this, because this is where I used to sow before. It saves me having to move about 80 of these. And you could see already I don't have any space here. So just having this one or 2 of them, this one on a smaller one would do. So that's the plan, guys. And also, as I said, I'm short of compost. This is mainly what I have, which is less than a third, of the entire compost bag. So I'll use that, and that would be it. So let's get cracking, and we should be fine. Now I need to make some space. There's no space anywhere. There's no space. Okay, for now, I'll take some of these plants out from this tray, because that's all the space I have. Okay, so this way of sowing, this tip, was given to me by one of the seniors in the allotment, I'll say. One of the seniors. So I told him about my problem with the compost, and he said, why do you want to, spend all that money, filling up all of this with compost? You probably need a bag or more for 80 seeds. And is what he was like, just sow them in a tray and you'll be fine. So I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And remember, my way of sowing is I take risk, I experiment to learn, and if it works, I'll do it again the next time. But I don't take those risks without having contingencies. So although I'm going to do this, right? I know normally you don't want to disturb your sweet corn roots, right? So you want to, that's why I use this. And when I put them in here, I do not transplant. I don't do anything else. It stays here until it grows, germinates, grows, and when I'm ready, I put it straight into the ground. Okay. However, the contingency, because I'm doing this today, the contingency I would do is that I still have some sets of seeds, sweet corn seeds, that I will sow directly into the ground. I know they would grow once it's after May. So that's my contingency in case these ones don't work. I believe they will germinate, but I don't know if disturbing the roots would impact them so much that they become stunted and they don't give me big enough, sweet corn. But that's the plan. So let's try this and see. If this works well this year, this is going to be the way henceforth I'll be sowing my sweet corn. So let me crack on with it. I'll get the sweet corn. That's the Goldcrest F1 sweet corn. And this is the golden bantam. So this is the golden bantam. And I'm going to get them in here now. I've soaked them, so they're not in the packs. They are in nylons, right? And I remember what this is the gold crests. I tied it up differently. Should have written them, but I'm very sure it is. And another thing is the seed of the gold crests. They look quite squashed. Is that clear enough? I don't know. I'll probably change the angle. While the golden bantam was a bit smooth. Might be manufacturer stuff. I don't know. But this was what I noticed when I soaked them. So even if I didn't tie the nylon differently to identify which is which, I'm 100% sure based on how the seeds were. And when I soaked them, all the golden bantam went to the bottom, right? They were submerged. They sank to the bottom. But the Goldcrest F1, some of them were floating at the top because of the way the seed looks. So let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. So in case you didn't see it clearly, I'm going to bring it closer. That's the golden bantam. The seeds look very nice. I don't know how it's going to taste. And there's the Goldcrest, which is an F1. The seed looks funny, but let's see. So I won't sow them in the same spots. Let's do the golden bantam first. I mean, not the same spot. I won't sow them in the same containers. That's what I meant to say. So I'm doing the golden bantam first. The measurement, when you actually sow, it says, the row width should be 12 inches or 30 centimeters. This tray itself, I think this whole length is 30 centimeters. So we're not doing that. So I'm just going to pop them in lightly. So that's one in there. Let me make holes so it's clear. So I'll carry on, guys. This is how I'm going to sow this here. Let's see what happens. Let's see. It's going to be a challenge bringing it out though, but let's see. This is my experiment. I've not seen anyone sow this way, sow sweet corn this way. I've not seen it advised anywhere that you should sow sweet corn this way. But you see, the seniors in the allotment, sometimes they know things that those with all the gardening degrees or the trained gardeners don't have. Sometimes they've got some skills. Okay, so I've squeezed in a lot. I think I'm going to squeeze everything in here. Let's see. I'm playing a dangerous game because everything might just become a tangled mess. But let's see. Everything is gonna go in. So I have to use an old label because I'm out of labels. Cross that. This is golden bantam, and I think today is 24 of April. So it's golden bantam, and yeah, because of the limited space and composts, just gonna close this up this way instead of trying to squash them in again. So if this works, this would be our new easy growing tip, because it will save you money. It will save you compost, save you money, save you space, save you time. Okay, because it's not just what we save now, but in the future, you know, when you want to water, when you want to plant, when you want to move things about, this might be the new one, the new easy growing tip. However, guys, for it to be adopted, it needs to give us the results. So if it fails woefully, then we won't use it anymore. I had 22 seeds in each bag, about 44 seeds have gone in here. About 44 seeds in here. I still have about 30 something of the gold crest that I need to plant, but about 44 seeds have gone in here of the golden bantam. If more than 20 of them grow properly, give me big enough corn cobs, then this is the new way. If it doesn't hit 50%, then it's not worth me, growing this way. So that's it done. That's it done. All I have to do now is, although I've submerged it in this tray filled with water, I'm just going to water from the top because it's the first time, and I'll leave it at that. The next one I want to do is the gold crest, so I need to go get a tray. This is where I'm going to leave it for today. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and comments. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you again some other time. Bye bye.